Hey you guys, Miss Smith here. Today we're going to be talking about dilations. Now dilations are transformations that either make the shape bigger or smaller. They don't change anything else about the shape. So just kind of so you can see that, I have this cute little triangle on my phone. Can you see that? And if I was going to dilate it, I might be making it bigger. See, it's just getting bigger. It's not spinning or flipping or anything like that. Or maybe you're given a big triangle and you're making it smaller. Making it smaller is also a dilation. So like I said, dilations make the shape bigger or smaller. I want to start with number 6 with you guys. Then we're going to look at number 2. We are going to briefly talk about number 15 right here. And then we'll also do number 20 where we work it backwards. So feel free to fast forward, rewind, whatever helps you out. Starting with number 6, we're doing a dilation of 5 about the origin. Don't worry about these words about the origin. We'll learn more about those later. For now, we're just dilating it by a factor of 5. So let's see how that works. You guys, step 1 is to write down the ordered pairs for every point. So it looks like we have an E, an F, and a G. So I'm going to need an ordered pair for my E, my F, and my G. Okay. So ordered pair for E, it looks like that is at 0, 0. Can you see that? Okay, let's make it a little bigger. Okay, E is at 0, 0. F is at 0, 1. And G is at 1, 0. Okay, now this is super simple. You guys are going to love this. All you do to dilate this by a factor of 5 is you take each of these numbers and you multiply them each by the dilation factor, which again was 5. So for the new image, we're going to call this new point E prime. So the old one was E, the new one is E prime. So you're going to take 0 and multiply it by 5, and 0 times 5 is still 0. So that's still going to be 0. And then take the other one, 0 times 5. Oh, again, that's still going to be 0, isn't it? Okay, now let's go on to F prime. This is our new F for the dilated image. We've got another 0 here, so multiplying that 5 by 5 is still going to give us 0. But here we've got a 1. What is 1 times 5? That gives us 5. And now we're going on to G prime. And we've got a 1 here. Multiply it by 5, you get 5. And then take the 0, multiply it by 5. Looks like we've got another 0. And so that's your E prime, your F prime, and your G prime. I guess I could have written those down there. Let me just transfer them over. And then we're going to put it on the graph. Okay, so E prime is going to be right here at the same place as regular E, E prime. F prime is going to be 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up here. And then G prime is going to be over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, G prime. And then we connect our dots and we get to see our nice big triangle, which has been dilated by a factor of 5 about the origin. Okay, so little one got big. Take a look now at number 2. So our dilation factor before was a 5, right? But now our dilation factor is 0.25. So do we think that triangle is going to get bigger or smaller? I don't know. What do you think? I do know that step 1 is still the same. You're going to take your 3 points and write out your ordered pairs. So we have K, L, and M. K is, let's see, there's 0, 0, so this is -1, 0. L is right here. We've got 1, 3. And M is right here. We've got 1, -2 for M. 1, -2. Okay, now we're going to multiply each of these points again, just like we did last time, by the dilation factor. Last time that was 5. This time it is 0.25. Okay, I'm going to use my handy calculator. So what is negative, not point, -1 times 0.25? That's going to be a -0.25. So for my K prime, and you could write it down here if you want to, it's easier for me to write it up here. So my K prime, the first number is going to be my -0.25. And then 0 times anything, as we know, gives us 0. Okay, I'm done with K prime. Let's do L prime. 1 times 0.25, well, I don't really need a calculator for that one either, do I? It's just 0.25. Now 3 times 0.25, maybe you can do that in your head, but if you want to use your calculator, that is a great tool as well. That is 0.75. for L prime. Now for M prime, for our new M, we're going to do 1 times 0.25, which is still 0.25. And we're going to do negative 2 times 0.25, negative 2 times 0.25, and that is negative 0.5. Negative 0.5. Okay, you might want to write these three numbers down here. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my graph. So K prime is going to be negative 0.25. So here's 0. Now negative 0.25, let's see. Negative 0.5 would be halfway to negative 1. Negative 0.25 would be only a fourth of the way to negative 1. So right about there for K prime. And also 0 for the Y value. Okay, we did that right. We're good. L prime is going to be 0.25. So a positive 0.25, and then for the Y value, 0.75. So it's going to be like right about there. So I went a quarter of the way to 1 on the x-axis, and I went 3/4 of the way to 1 on the y-axis. And that is how I got L prime. And then for M prime, we're still at 0.25 for the x value, so that's still right about here, a quarter of the way between 0 and 1. And then a negative 0.5, which is going to be halfway to negative 1 on the y-axis. And that is, again, M prime. And then you just connect your dots, and you have your cute little itty-bitty triangle that looks just like its mama triangle, it's just smaller. Okay, so dilations, when it's less than 1, the shape's going to get smaller. When it's bigger than 1, the shape is going to get bigger. We're going to talk briefly about this one just so you know what to do. First thing you're going to do is put the original shape on the graph. So they don't tell you the original, they don't show you the original shape. They just tell it to you with the ordered pairs. So you would first need to graph this guy, negative 4, 4, and then 0, 0, and then 3, negative 2. And make sure you label those points. So you've got H, you have I, and you have J. And then the nice part about this is you don't have to go and figure out what the ordered pairs, they're just right here. So you could go ahead and start multiplying. Negative 4 times 1/4 for H prime. So negative 4 times 1/4 would give us negative 1. And then negative 4 times 1/4 again would give us negative 1. And so on. The process here is just the same as what we just did for number 2 or whatever that one was over on the first page. Okay, what I really want to show you is one where we work it backwards. So flip on over, and we're going to look at this one. So here we see our shape, our original shape, and we see the dilated shape. Now, first of all, you need to know which one was the original and which one was the dilated shape. And the way you tell is by looking for those primes. So you see here, we see A, B, C, and D, just regular old letters. Whereas over here, you've got primes on the A, B, C, and D. So the original shape was the little one, and the new shape is the one with the primes. That's the bigger one. Okay, so what you want to do is write down all of your ordered pairs, and then you can look at it and see what happened to those numbers. So for A, we have negative 2, 0. And then B, we have negative 2, 1. For C, it looks like we have 2, 1. And for D, what do we have here? We have 3, 0. Okay, now let's figure out what all the primes were. A prime is going to be negative 3, 0. B prime is going to be negative 3, it looks like that's pretty clearly halfway between. So I'm going to say negative 3, 1.5. Okay, C prime is going to be positive 3, 1.5 again. And then for D prime, it looks like we have 4.5, 0. Okay, now how can we look at these numbers and figure out what the dilation factor was? What you're going to do is you're going to take your new number. Can you see it up here? Here, let me put it right here. Take your new number and divide it by your old number. Okay, so for example, don't use the zeros because they never change, right? Use numbers that actually change. So for example, you've got the old negative 2 became a new negative 3. So the rule is take new, divide it by old. So I'm going to go negative 3 divided by negative 2. Put it into your calculator. Can you see that? No, you can't see that too well. Let me clear it out and make it nice looking for you. Negative 3 divided by negative 2 is going to give us a dilation factor of 1.5. So that right there should be your dilation factor. Now, it's not a bad idea to take another number and just double check it. So maybe I could take my 1.5 here and divide it by its corresponding number, the 1. So let's see what I get. 1.5 divided by 1. Oh, that also gives me 1.5. I could take any two numbers as long as I don't choose the zeros. Like what if I did the 4.5 and divided it by the 3? 4.5 divided by 3 still gives me 1.5. And that number, this dilation factor number, it should be the same for every single one of these except for anything that might be a 0. So your factor of dilation is 1.5, and if you want to be thorough and write the whole rule, it would be a dilation. Let me try that again. Dilation of 1.5 about the origin. Okay, great. And that is all you need to know. You guys, if you have any questions, talk to your teachers, ask us. We love to help you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.